I will say, when you walk in the door, everyone misses the art and music section. They come in, they go that way, and then they'll come back to me and say, hey, where's the music section? Including, by the way, a friend of Miles Davis's was in the other day and wanted to know where the music section was. And the amazing thing about that is, Miles Davis had friends. Many people are surprised to hear that. But it was really great that just those kind of things happen in a bookstore, and those are moments you kind of make your day, So yeah, this is it. I have in my hand 3 recent books from our Neither Rhyme Nor Reason Poetry Book Club. We're going to read Frank O'Hara next because it's our 10-year anniversary, and the first book we did 10 years ago was a Frank O'Hara book. So we're gonna keep at Frank, and then we're gonna do this great new book by Mark Smith Soto. Mark died recently, and Unicorn Press put out this beautiful book of his work. So we're gonna read that next. We read Diane Seuss's Modern Poetry recently. So I just wanted to give you a flavor of, we read the old, we read the new, and it's an amazing book club. If you like poetry, join that one. All right, this is the store. Here's our Scuppernong Editions books. They keep selling, I guess because we put them right up front. We're really happy with how this is working. We recently had a call for work, so people could submit full-length manuscripts looking for memoirs, remember, offbeat memoirs, and so we got a bunch of those to read now. So, this is the poetry section over here. It's poetry, and it's more poetry. So it's kind of a lot, but yeah, I love it. Some of these books, to be clear, have been sitting here for a very long time. But the right person comes in on the right day, and they're just stunned by the fact that we have this book. Sometimes it's their own book that we have, and that makes people very, very happy to find their book on the shelf. But we sell enough to keep it going. And like I said, we have a lot of small press work. We have a lot of local press, Unicorn Press, we have Press 53, and we just, we believe in it. We're gonna keep at it. So, hurrah, poetry. And the rest of the store, I don't suppose it's all that different from most independent bookstores. We have an amazing fiction section. We have a bar, look at that, beer, wine, coffee. We've often wanted to do a study, do people buy more books when they're drunk or when they're high on espresso? So we don't know the answer yet, but more research needs to be done. We have various other book clubs at Scuppernong, including Reading the World, which is books in translation, a poetry book club, science fiction book club, romance book club. In the early days, we were fools. We didn't have a good romance section. Now we got a rockin' one, because what kind of idiots were we? And furthermore, you participate in this sort of discrimination against genre if you don't rise up and carry these sections. So we're not going to participate in that anymore, Mark. So, great children's section. Really thrilled with the fact that this children's section just rocks. There's not a lot in there, but what's there is so good. And I think that is one of the highlights of the store, to be honest. And we can thank several people, but maybe Shannon Jones most of all. Ever onward, we do things like displays are important, like about what your store cares about. So we have this great important display on Palestine and what's been happening there for all these months. So those books, super important to make sure we highlight them. And travel through historical fiction. Often we don't separate historical fiction out from general fiction, so sometimes it's nice to make a little display so people know where to go. And then, all the various sections. We got cooking, and we got biography and memoir, religion, Black studies, philosophy, all the things you would expect to find at any good bookstore in America, or anywhere, anywhere. Then you enter this sort of magical space. Ready? We're gonna go here into the back room. It's a used section. This is all used, but most importantly, it's our event space. And there are business people who will look at this event space and say, that is all wasted selling space. you should have product there. Well, you know, that's not what we're about, right? We want to have the space, A, for people to hang out in the day, but also just to do whatever needs to be done. You know, whether it's a reading, whether it's a meeting, whether, you know, there's all sorts of things we do back here. Most of it legal, to be clear. But, you know, I'm so glad we made this decision and that we stick to it. You know, we have famous authors. You know, John Grisham was back here once. We have all sorts of folks. We have local folks, and I think it's got a sort of special place in the heart of Greensboro, this back room. Used poetry, lots of used poetry. Oh, the dear Fred Chappell, who died in February, donated his entire remaining collection of poetry books to the store. Most of them have already been purchased, but it's a really rockin' used section. Hard to beat that one. So yeah, that's it. That's what we got. I'll tell you. I'll end with that's our back door there.
Yeah.
One day the police were chasing someone, and he came in the front door and said, "Get me out the back door," so he could escape the police out the back alley. I left him to his own devices.
Thank you.
All right.